Hello, my sweet little Geminis, my little soul warriors. Okay, as I said before on some of the readings, I'm not doing personal readings at this time, but I may start again real soon. Okay, so, and this is to y'all. I do love y'all. You're on such a beautiful little soul journey, and I know sometimes it's very difficult. We all go through that, but I do love you, and I always hope that whatever the cards tell you helps you. Okay, let's get started. All right. Okay, these three cards are telling you right now, basically where you're at this point in time. Sometimes it will tell you your past, and then sometimes, well, we'll get answers to something that will help you in the future. Okay? Alrighty, let's go for it. This is, let me take my glasses off. This is the Nine of Swords. And the Nine of Swords is, you're going over and over a lot of the past. It's like you're dreaming and dreaming and dreaming it. There's a beautiful card in the Wizard's deck that shows someone down below, and they're dreaming of someone stabbing their mate. Now that doesn't mean that that happened to you, but it depicts, you know, how you go over and over and over things. You see those pictures over and over. But this is where you're at right now. You're going over and over something. You keep seeing it in your mind. Okay? And this is the Six of Cups. And this normally, let me set my timer here. This normally, this card is very, I call it ambidextrous. I mean, it can go so many different ways, as a lot of the cards do. But you see, this owl is giving the little, he's nourishing the little owl. And a lot of times it means something from your past. And because it's next to this card, you are going over and over something from your past. Okay. And this is the Seven of Cups. And this is choices. And if you'll notice, not all of these cups have good things in them. Some of them do, some of them don't. So you have a choice. You keep going back over this past, and it's really harmful to you. And I think it's very, very painful. But you do have a choice. And there were choices before which way you went with whatever happened to you. Okay? So, I'm going to try to keep it a little bit, hopefully, light and airy today. It just depends on what the cards say, okay? But we're going to, I hopefully picked some good cards today. I usually just let them direct me on the decks. Oh, I'm sorry. This was the Owl Tarot, and this is the Archangel Power Tarot, or Oracle, or something like that. Okay. And this says Two of Raphael, however you pronounce it. Two hearts dedicated to creating something wonderful. Kindred spirits. Don't give up on those you love. So I'm going to get a little bit further into the reading to see if this is what this was in the past, or this is something in the future for you. I kind of feel like it was in the past. Okay, and this is the Emperor, and it's Archangel Uriel, and I'm really bad at enunciation. Stability and efficacy, taking charge of the situation, and ambitious plans. So this came out over the past, you know, that you're looking at. So I'm thinking this is telling you, hold on, And this is the Four of Michael. And this is insights that come from quiet meditation, the need for more sleep or time off, seek relief from stress. This card does tell you that what you're going through right now, you need to have a little breather, because I believe it's just eating you up. Okay? So if we put all three of these together, okay, and this one is Two of Hearts, okay, something wonderful that you can create with someone else. And this is also stability, taking charge of the situation. And this one is also just rest for a little bit. I think, hold on just a second. I think something in your past, I keep feeling like something in your past was possibly a good situation. And you keep going over it again. And then I think you had some ambitious plans. Let's get a little further along and see what's going on, okay? Let me see who we need now. All right. I have to put my glasses back on. Okay. These cards are the Priestess of the Light, I believe. Okay, so I had my whole deck upside down, so we're going to turn them right side, and we'll see if they want them right side or... Okay, this is Divine Feminine, magnetic and perceptive power. All right, so now this defines this a little bit more. You see how beautiful she is, and she's got so much power. So I believe that what I'm talking to, the majority of you are females. There are some males that can also have a divine feminine, but that's rare. And it doesn't mean you're gay. I'm not ungay people. I like people that are gay, but and I like everybody, so I have no qualms about that. But sometimes when people see this, men especially, they tend to think, well, I'm not that way. But sometimes it does mean you're getting in touch with your feminine side. Men are always saying that these days, and it just means you're more nurturing and more caring. But if you're a female, you are you like a lot of the feminine things. You're very sensual in your clothing and the way you are. But it doesn't mean that you're a hoochie mama. I'm sorry, that's the only way I can explain that. But it means that you're a very feminine person, okay? And now, let me get the rest of these, and then we'll figure out what the bottom is. Because the cards always, that's why I like doing different decks, because they define the prior deck. Okay, a power over difficulties, reclaiming your power. And that does go along with stability. So this has to be a future thing then. Okay. Sometimes it takes a little bit for the cards, or for me to figure out the cards and listen. Achievement, effort plus intention. Yes, definitely future. I think what I said before was not correct. Let me go over that. What you're doing is going over some past situation. It is just, it's not good. You're reliving it and reliving it. But I think what's coming for you, or what you're wanting, is two hearts that are dedicated to something wonderful. I think you're wanting something better than this old situation. I think you perhaps thought that old situation was true love, and it was not. This is basically a love reading. So You are a very feminine person, but what you hoped for the last time was true love. And you're very nurturing, a very kind person. You're also very sensual, but you will do for your mate. And I'm speaking to females that are very feminine. You will stand beside your mate and you will do what you have to help them. Okay? And this is power over difficulty again. This is the difficulty that you're going through. Looking at the past, and you see this is in the row of the past. See these right here? This is your past, and this is where you're trying to get over that. Okay? And you're hoping for stability over that. I believe you're a very strong person, though. Let me put these back, and then we'll go to this one. And I know I've said this before, but now it's all making sense. This is effort plus intention. And I think you're putting forth some effort. You want something, so you're putting forth that focus, that intention. This is what I want. You know, I didn't get it last time, and I think you thought it was true love last time, and it just was not. And here's something I will say. Whenever it's not true love, there's always been red flags. If you look back, there were red flags all along the way. That's a fact. Okay, so these cards are absolutely beautiful. The next ones that I want to pull out, and this is Wisdom of the Fairy Oracle, I do believe. And I have to tell you, I still haven't studied these enough, but they are such, they define things so precisely. I just absolutely love them. And sometimes I do have to read the book on them. This is the pedestal. And you see it comes out, you are this person. You are this divine feminine. A divine feminine is someone, again, who's very, very feminine. I mean, they are just everything almost you could ask for someone who is a female. And if you're a male, then again, you are getting in touch with your feminine side. But I believe this reading mostly is for females. And now you can be same-sex couple, and that one of you would be more feminine than the other, I'm sorry. So this is a pedestal. And this, obviously I haven't studied these enough, but to me, this tells me that what you're hoping to get is someone that will put you on a pedestal, someone that will treat you like you deserve to be treated. This one is a very specific card, and it's called Trillium, but what it's telling you, this card, I do know this one, and it's telling you that you have to see who you are inside. It's telling you to believe in yourself, that you are more than you can imagine. And I believe you should be put on a pedestal for someone who sees you, sees this wonderful person that you are. But this one, again, is telling you what it says basically in the book. It says the fairies just know who they are. You know, they don't have to question, am I a good person, am I cute, or whatever. They just know. And if you take a child, unless that child has been dominated by other thoughts, a child is just happy. They don't worry about who they are. They'll just jump in the mud, they'll play, they'll laugh. And that's what they're asking you to do. This is a very beautiful card. But I think you may have a bit of a confidence problem. Okay. And this is thinking of you. And as I said, I would think, hold on just a second. Look at this book out. Okay. And I would assume you're thinking of, just open the page right there to it. Now that's amazing. Okay. Let me paraphrase this. Life presents many examples of synchronicity. It means things that come together, okay? There's no such thing as coincidence. Everything happens for a reason. When well-grounded, we're strong and connected to everything. Now, here's the thing. It came out, this one came out in this row that says stability, okay? Taking charge of situations. So, and also here it says power over difficulties. So I love it when cards, they just define the prior deck. Just, they're talking to you. There's no doubt about it. The cards are, as far as I'm concerned, the cards are always right. We as readers can read them wrong. But this is what it's saying. Just ground yourself, find the place of peace within you. If life is frantic, stop and breathe. Ask for help, okay? The more you practice this balance, you know, things will work for you in your life. And just, it's talking about divine timing too. But when it's saying thinking of you, it's talking about thinking of yourself. There again, we're talking about believing in yourself. And there's, the book says synchronicity, but my inner definition says coincidence, divine coincidence is supposed to happen. So you are this wonderful person, very feminine, very, you can be a very strong person if you have someone that treats you with respect and puts you there. Your confidence comes out, but sometimes you look to other people for your confidence, and that's what this card is saying. You have to see it inside yourself. And this card also is telling you to love yourself. And that comes in on top of achievement, effort plus intention. You've got to work on yourself. You've got to see, oops, I'm sorry, I'm out of frame. You've got to see who you truly are. You've got to work on that to believe how wonderful you are. Okay, let's see. Oh, and now I just got these. Absolutely love these. These are Tarot at the End of the Rainbow. And if I have the whole deck upside down, I'll straighten it. Okay. And these are light-hearted cards, but they can define problems and stuff just as well as any other tarot deck. But they give you, in my opinion, they give you the little things to be happy about. Okay? And oh my goodness, you've got, this is a Nine of Swords, and right here you have two Nine of Swords on different decks. So they're really telling you that you have been in a lot of pain. Okay, you just keep going over and over. You see how it looks like she's in despair, and there again, that's a female card. Sweeties, here's the thing. If you keep going over the past, then you will project that into your future. The things that happened in the past, you will project it. If you always say, well, that's the way I always was, people always do me like that, then that's what you believe, and that's what will happen in the future. So, sweetheart, you've got to let it go. There's nothing else you can do. And what they're wanting you to do is to get inside you and see. If you did something wrong, dredge it up, and you'll know right away. Sometimes we blame ourselves for stuff that we are not responsible for. We take responsibilities for other people. But we all have little things that we feel like we did wrong. But get in there and say, okay, So I did this. Okay, I don't like this about me. Okay, how can I change that? What can I do? You can't change it if you keep thinking you're that kind of person. If you have guilt for something, then you've already learned, and you don't need that anymore. You're not the same person because you wouldn't do it again. You are absolutely not the same person. Okay. Oh my gosh, look at all the swords in your, this is the Eight of Swords, and there again you can see this person is, what is it? I can't see. I'm sorry, I have to turn my lights off so it doesn't, there's no glare on the cards. Anyway, this person here is bound, and they're surrounded by swords. So they really don't know which way to go. They're afraid. Their fear is stopping them from coming out of this. And this is exactly what the rest of the cards have been saying. So, but they're wanting you. It came out on top of this one. They're wanting you to see who you truly are. But trust me when I say, if you have guilt, you are not the same person. There's a wonderful doctor, Dr. Dispenza, and he's had so many healings. He teaches people the scientific way to get rid of junk, put it that way. And when these people, fabulous, amazing healing. Some people walk after they've been in a wheelchair for years. Some people have cancer and it goes away. And he asked every one of them, where did this go? And they all say, oh, that was in the other person, the old person. And now he did it himself. He was in he was run over by a car. He was a biker, and he was run over, and his spine was crushed, it was really in bad shape, and they wanted to operate, and he wouldn't let them, and he said, I can do this on my own. And he got up and walked. It took him 3 months, but he did. So that same person that this happened to, you're no longer that person anymore. You've got to see yourself as a new person, and you wouldn't do anything you think you've done wrong. You wouldn't do it again. You're a new person. Okay. And this is another sword. This is Seven of Swords. Someone was very backstabbing. They were a liar and a cheat, and they probably ran around on you. And that's what the Seven of Swords is. You see, he's stealing the swords. He pretended to be friends of the supposedly the army, and then he went behind their back and stole the swords. So that is what happened to you, and it ripped a lot of your confidence out. But you need to let go of that, because you're projecting that same situation. You keep going over it and over it. You wouldn't do this. Whatever you think you've done wrong, you wouldn't do it again. So let me see what our time is here. Okay, so what I'm trying to tell you is the cards are trying to tell you you're not the same person. You can't stay in the theater after the movie's over and keep going over it and over it again. If you say, well, that's the way I've always been, then you're going to be that way in the future. So if you want something better, and I think in your case, you have to see something better. Two thoughts can't stay in the same place at the same time. It's the same thing with objects. So you've got to replace going over and over those old thoughts with something new. And the only way I know how to do it is there's two ways. One is gratitude. You start looking around and seeing things that you are blessed for. And the reason that helps is because then it opens the door for you to get new things in, better things. You see all the wonderful things you've gotten. So it's kind of like programming your future for wonderful things. The other way is to actually realize that is not you anymore. It's just not you. The things that happened, the things that they did to you, you probably should have stood up for yourself a little bit more, but you were very loving and kind. But now you know. You won't let that happen again. I love y'all so much. I just really hope this helps. You're beautiful people, little soul warriors, and you do have to remember that everything is a journey for us on our souls. Whatever seems like it was so bad, you will look back at some point in the future and say, I learned a lot. When the pain goes away, you won't, and the pain will go away. All right, sweethearts, I love y'all so much, and I hope this really helps. I always hope it helps someone. Okay, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.